Welcome to The Explainer. For millions of young people in India, government exams, they're everything. They're the ticket to a stable life. But what happens when that whole system just breaks? That's what we're digging into today. We're looking at the 2025 SSE exam protests, a story that starts with some computer glitches and, believe it or not, spirals into a massive nationwide movement.
All right, let's get right into it. Now, you might think we'd start at the beginning, but nope. We're going to jump right into the deep end, straight to the flashpoint. This is the moment when all that simmering anger just completely boiled over.
So picture this, Ram Leela Maidan in Delhi, August 24th, 2025. This wasn't just any protest. They were calling it the August Kranti of aspirants. I mean, the August Revolution of aspirants. You had more than 1,500 students, kids who had traveled from all over India, all gathered in this one spot. And they were there for one reason, to finally be heard.
And then you have this number, 44. This single number really tells the story of that night. 44 students, that's how many were detained. And not just detained, they were taken in after police used a lathi charge, basically a baton charge, to scatter the crowd. We're talking about peaceful protesters here.
I mean, it's a pretty jarring picture, right? You have students, people who want to serve the public, clashing with the police. It just doesn't add up. So the big question is, how on earth does a government exam lead to this? To get the answer, we've got to rewind. Let's go back to see how it all started.
Okay, so the root of this entire mess, it all comes down to the Staff Selection Commission. You probably know it as the SSC. And more specifically, it was one single exam they held in the summer of 2025, the Selection Post Phase 13 exam.
And when I say it was a mess, I mean it was an absolute disaster. This wasn't just one little thing going wrong. It was like a complete domino effect of failures. Just try to put yourself in their shoes. You study for months, you pour everything into this, and then, poof, the exam is just canceled out of the blue. Or, get this, you get your admit card only 2 days before the test is supposed to happen. And for those who actually made it to the exam hall, widespread technical glitches, systems crashing, biometrics failing. Oh, and the best part? The exam centers were assigned completely illogically. We're talking about students from Jaipur being told to go take their test in the Andaman Islands. I mean, come on, that's thousands of kilometers away. So who was behind all this technical chaos? Well, right in the middle of it was the vendor, a private company called Eduquity Career Technologies. And this is where things get really sketchy. See, this choice of vendor immediately set off alarm bells for everyone. Why? Because this same company had been linked to allegations in the notorious Vyapam scam. So for the students, the trust in the whole process was just gone. It was shattered before they even saw the first question on the screen.
And look, we're not talking about a handful of disgruntled students here. The sheer scale of this problem is just staggering. The SSC got more than 55,000 official complaints. Let that sink in. 55,000. This wasn't just a few hiccups. This was a total systemic failure.
So you've got tens of thousands of really, really angry students. How does all that individual frustration turn into a unified national movement? Well, in this day and age, you know where it starts. It starts online. Yeah, just like so many movements today, this one absolutely exploded on the internet. Frustrated students just flooded social media platforms. And pretty soon, hashtags like hashtag SSC mismanagement and hashtag justice for aspirants started trending all over the country. And that was the key, right? All of a sudden, tens of thousands of students who felt completely alone realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm not the only one. And it didn't stay online for long. All that digital anger and unity, it quickly spilled over into the real world. The digital uprising became a physical one. Suddenly you had students organizing actual protests in cities across the country. Delhi, Jaipur, Lucknow, Patna, you name it. They were gathering right outside government offices and they wanted answers. Now this is important. This wasn't just a bunch of people shouting. No, they were organized and their demands were crystal clear. 4 main points. Number 1, get rid of the vendor, Eduquity. Number 2, we want an independent investigation into this whole mess. 3, compensate the students who wasted their time and money traveling. And number 4, fix the system. We need real reforms so this never, ever happens again. Okay, so the stage is set, right? You've got thousands of students protesting. You've got a list of very specific demands. So how did the SSC and the government react to all this pressure? Let's take a look. And this is where you can really see the massive disconnect that fueled the whole conflict. It's like they were having two completely different conversations. The students say, remove the vendor. The SSC says, well, the company isn't officially blacklisted. The students ask for an investigation and compensation for their troubles. The SSC offers a retest for some people and, promises a fancy new AI system for the future. It's just a total mismatch. They were not on the same page at all. So, when you have protests getting bigger and an official response that's, well, let's just say not really hitting the mark, something else is bound to happen. The issue got so big, it inevitably jumped into the political arena. And just like that, an administrative screw-up became a massive political fight. And of course, opposition leaders jumped on it. Rahul Gandhi came out and called the government's handling of the situation a sign of a cowardly government. Now, see, that's a really specific choice of words. It's not just about incompetence anymore. He's framing it as a moral failing, a lack of character. Then you have Priyanka Gandhi, and she really zeroed in on those powerful images from the protest at Ram Leela Maidan. Her point was simple but effective. Instead of talking to the students, they are being beaten with batons. She's painting this picture of a government that would rather use force than just listen. And then Delhi's chief minister, Arvind Kejriwal, he took it even further. He used the word dictatorship. He called the whole situation shameful, especially the fact that students were being baton charged at night. So now it's not just a badly managed protest. He's framing it as a government acting like an authoritarian regime. So here's the bottom line. What started as a dispute about, a badly run exam, it morphed into something so much bigger. It essentially became a proxy war for a much larger political battle. The students' very real fight for their future was co-opted and turned into a symbol in this huge national power struggle. When you really get down to it, this whole story isn't just about one bungled exam. It's about something way more fundamental. It's about trust. Trust in a system that's supposed to give millions of young people a fair chance at a good life. So it leaves us with a really big, important question to think about. When you have a country that puts so much hope in its youth, what's the real cost when that trust is broken? What's the price of that broken promise?